Steppenwolf, an 8 CD box set called Magic Carpet Ride. They were a Canadian band called Sparrow who moved to the west coast of America. They had a singer called John Kay and a guitarist with the most excellent stage name of Mars Bonfire. Mars Bonfire left before they recorded their first album, but he left them with the key to their success. He wrote one of the all-time classic rock anthems, Born to be Wild. Born to be Wild was on the soundtrack to Easy Rider, along with the Steppenwolf cover of The Pusher. Born to be Wild became a hit all over the world, and I think many people assume that Steppenwolf were one-hit wonders. I have American cousins whose father was in the American forces stationed in Germany in the late 60s, and it was one of my cousins who was into Steppenwolf. Obviously I knew and loved Born to be Wild, but he had a number of their albums, some of which I also bought from the Army Base PX. I was familiar with all but the first 2 albums. Also I had a greatest hits compilation. By my late teens I was totally over Steppenwolf, but I bought this box set for nostalgia's sake. I was surprised how much I have enjoyed listening to it 50 years later. It would appear I missed some of their finest moments. Some of the tracks on the first 2 albums I was not familiar with. The box set is named after the song Magic Carpet Ride, which was one of their other well-known singles and still sounds quite fresh. The Steppenwolf sound is guitars, organ and John Kay's gruff voice, all very much the sound of Born to be Wild. But like a lot of the late 60s band, they cover all kinds of styles: blues, soul, country and folk. They can be quite funky. They started out playing Chicago-style rhythm and blues, and this box set contains a live album of them before they made the first album, which is very raw and exciting and has Mars Bonfire on guitar. The guitarists tend to be a bit Hendrixy, a bit Foxy Lady. They use a lot of that abrasive chord that was the sound of the times, now known as the Hendrix chord. It can be heard in the instrumental break of Born to be Wild. The organ always swoops and swirls just like it should. As they progress, the sound gets harder, the production gets much better and the songs become less inspiring. The opening track on their final album is a catchy rocky number in several parts, including a grand piano section, but the album would not be worth buying separately. I think they peaked with the title track of their 4th album. Monster is a 12-minute epic in 3 parts that charts the development of America from the founding fathers to the Vietnam War. The whole album is made up of protest songs. They may seem twee now, but I was listening to them on a US Army base with teenagers who were facing the real possibility of being drafted. The box set also includes the Steppenwolf live album, which captures them at their peak, performing most of their best songs, including a long, extended version of Born to be Wild. Steppenwolf Magic Carpet Ride, a box set of all their albums that were released between 1967 and 1971.